Time now for the Nick Hart Show, our weekly chat with the Gibson Southern Titans head football coach, Nick Hart. It's a presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, including Hip Dentistry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Rhythm Church Evansville, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Tenbarge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies, TYFL, Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments, Young's Auto Body, Light Transport, Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Heidorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Beatty Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete. The Nick Hart Show, a special presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters, Wabash Valley College's Radio, TV, and Digital Media Department, and 89 Won the Bash, starts now.
Good evening, Titan fans, and welcome to yet another edition of the Nick Hart Show here in 2021. Cole Carter with you. I'll be joined by Kyler Gammon and Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart here in just a minute. As the Gibson Southern Titans are regional champions, they are playing at semi-state this coming Saturday against Tri-West Hendricks, but that wouldn't happen without a 31-29 thrilling win over the Lawrenceburg Tigers back on Saturday for Gibson Southern. It took all 4 quarters, and it was a dandy to give the Titans their 12th win of the year. Starting off in the first drive of the game for Gibson Southern after a Lawrenceburg punt, Titans go 98 yards down the field, capping it off with a 28-yard catch and run from Brady Allen to Sean DeLong.
5:14 left here in the first quarter. Allen the pass again, looks left. He's got all day to throw, but he rolls out to his left. Allen still looking, dumps off to DeLong in the flat. At the 15-yard line, to the 10, to the 5, and Sean DeLong is into the end zone! Touchdown, Gibson Southern!
That made it 7-0 Titans early in the first quarter, but Lawrenceburg would answer with a nice drive of their own. Their quarterback Garrett Yoon would have a 21-yard touchdown run to tie the game up at 7, but the Titans would answer on their next drive as Brady Allen found one of his favorite targets, Braden Malone, for 6.
First down and 10 at the Lawrenceburg 14-yard line. Allen rolls out to his right, throws one to the flat, caught by Malone to the 5, diving for the end zone. He's in. Touchdown, Titans. Braden Malone made the catch in the flat, broke one tackle, and dove into the end zone. Brady Allen, his second touchdown pass of the night, and Gibson Southern jumps right back in front.
Made it 14-7 Titans, and Gibson Southern's defense continued to be dominant in that first half, forcing yet another Lawrenceburg punt, and the Titans would put up one more score before the end of the half. This time, Brady Allen found Adrian Lukeman for a touchdown.
2:13 to go in the second quarter, 14-7 Gibson Southern. Bit of a shift here for the Titans. Now it's Rory Helsing in the backfield. Allen, shuffle pass to Adrian Lukeman. Touchdown, Gibson Southern!
Lawrenceburg had time to put one score on the board before the end of the half, but they would fumble the ball away, and that gave us the halftime score of 21-7. Titans were feeling pretty good at the half, but they were feeling really good after their first drive of the third quarter as Brady Allen would connect for his 4th touchdown pass of the night, this time finding middle linebacker Levi Dickerson.
So first down and 10 for Gibson Southern at the 23-yard line. Allen to pass, throws one. End zone for Levi Dickerson. He's got it. Touchdown, Gibson Southern.
So Levi Dickerson gets his second touchdown of the season, but his first receiving touchdown, and all of a sudden it's 28-7 Gibson Southern, and you're thinking, here we go, another route, another running clock game, but Lawrenceburg was not done. They actually weren't even close to being done, as they would score a couple of plays later, this time on a 76-yard pass from Garrett Yoon to Aiden Gilmore.
3rd down and 7 for Lawrenceburg. Yoon, the quarterback in the shotgun, moves a man from left to right, takes a snap. He's going to pass to his left, and he sets his shoulders, feels the pressure from Adrian Loopman, now rolls out to his right, throws one down the field, got a man up behind the defense. That's Gilmore on the run. 25-20, 15-10-5, touchdown Lawrenceburg.
Oh, my.
The Tigers score with 9 minutes to go in the 3rd quarter.
Oh,
76 yards.
That made the score 28-14, and even with the 2-score game, you're thinking Gibson Southern is pretty comfortable, but the Lawrenceburg defense would force a stop, and the Tigers will go down the field and score yet again. This time, another touchdown pass from Garrett Yoon, this time to Daya Patel.
In the shotgun is Yoon. On 4th and 4. He takes a snap. He looks left. Yoon throws one far sideline. It is caught and running down the sideline for a Lawrenceburg touchdown. Daya Patel. Unbelievable. And on 4th and 4, the Tigers have made it a 1-score game.
The Tigers would go for 2 and convert the 2 to make it a 28-22 score late in the 3rd quarter, but Gibson Southern would get the ball back again, a chance to extend their lead. But the Lawrenceburg defense, again, came up and made the play. It was Daya Patel with the interception, and he would find the end zone again just a couple plays later.
3rd down and 11. Allen back to pass. Looks left, steps up, gets away from the pressure, and now throws a deep ball down the sideline. Intercepted. Picked off by Patel at the 30-yard line. 1st and 10, Lawrenceburg. As Daya Patel steps in front of the Brady Allen pass, just the 2nd interception Brady has thrown all season long. 1st and 10, Tigers. Unilwar to his right, throws one near sideline, caught by Patel across midfield, stays in bounds, and he's down the sideline, and Daya Patel is gone. Touchdown Lawrenceburg. 57 yards, and we're tied at 28 with 10 minutes to play. Unbelievable.
Lawrenceburg would convert their extra point to make it a 29-28 advantage for the Tigers. And just like that, 22 unanswered points for Lawrenceburg, but Gibson Southern got the ball back, a chance to reclaim the lead, and drove the ball deep into Lawrenceburg territory before the Tigers forced a turnover on downs.
The play of the night and the play of the season for these two 11-1 teams. 4th down and 9. Allen back to pass. Lawrenceburg brings the blitz. Allen steps up, throws a deep ball into the end zone for Rory Helsley. It's knocked away, incomplete, and Lawrenceburg will turn the ball over on downs. 1st and 10, Tigers.
And then the Titan defense would come up big, forcing a Lawrenceburg punt to once again give Brady Allen and the Titans offense a chance to drive down the field and take the lead and possibly win the game, and Allen would go to his go-to man, Rory Helsley.
2nd down and 5, ball at the Gibson Southern 31-yard line, 6.5 to play. Allen in the shotgun, play action pass. They throw a screen left side to Helsley, turning upfield across the 35-yard line. Still going. There goes Helsley at midfield. He cuts across the field to 45. Now at the 40. There goes Rory Helsley, and he's brought down at the Lawrenceburg 34-yard line. 1st and 10, Titans. What a play by Rory Helsley.
That put Gibson Southern in prime territory to retake the lead against Lawrenceburg. They would actually get the ball inside the Tiger 10, but on 4th and goal, the Titans would be forced with a decision. Do you go for it, or do you kick the go-ahead field goal? And Nick Hart had trust in his senior kicker, Chris Spear, to win the game.
From here, it's going to be about a 19-yard field goal.
And now you're banking on your defense.
Yep. 3.5 to play. Chris Spear, the senior, with the biggest kick of his life. Snap down, kick is up. Chris Spear's kick is good.
And that gave Gibson Southern a 31-29 lead over Lawrenceburg with about 3.5 minutes to play. And so once again, Nick Hart asked his defense to get a stop to win the regional, and that's what they did. Facing a 4th and 4, Lawrenceburg tried to go with the quarterback run, but the Titans defense was all over it.
Lawrenceburg's season comes down to 4 yards. 56 seconds to play. 31-29. Titans lead. 4th down and 4. In the shotgun is Garrett Yoon. He takes the snap. They run the option. Yoon keeps it. He didn't get there. He did get there. He didn't get there. Pack your bags. We're going to Liston. Gibson Southern has done it.
Lots of emotions for everybody in the stadium on Saturday night as Gibson Southern wins their first regional since 2015 by a final score of 31-29. The Titans improved to 12-1 on the season, and they will travel up to Liston on Saturday to take on the Tri-West Hendricks Bruins. And we will talk to head coach Nick Hart here in a few minutes about what to expect from Liston and how the Titans can pull off a semi-state win this Saturday. We'll step aside for our first break of the night. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show is brought to you by the following Gibson Southern Football Booster Gold sponsors: Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Heidorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Hen Orthodontics, and by Hillside Gardens.
This is the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash and BashRadio.com. It's semi-state week. Cole Carter and Kyler Gammon with you, being joined by Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart. And Coach, first and foremost, congratulations on winning the regional championship. That's your 4th regional here at Gibson Southern. And that game was thrilling, to say the least.
Yes, it was. So it's always great. And, Lawrenceburg's a great team. And, there's only 4 teams in 3A that are getting to practice football and play a game this week. So, we're really excited to be one of those teams and get the regional championship on Saturday night.
I mean, it was pretty good vibes in the first half. You guys led 21-7 at the break, and then you scored on your first drive of the third quarter to go up 28-7. And, we were thinking up in the press box that this is going to be another one of those games with running clock, but it was that third quarter and fourth quarter when Lawrenceburg made that run and made it a ball game.
Yeah, we got the big score after half to stretch it out to 3 scores. And then, man, we got them in 3rd and long on their next drive and, had a chance, I thought, to get a sack. We kind of jumped the initial route on the rollout and kind of had a chance to get him. And the young kid's a great athlete and great football player. And he, extends the play. And we had really worked all week about staying plastered in the secondary because of the way that he can run around. And we turned the guy loose. And I thought that play, coupled with the fact the next drive, we get down to like the 10 and then get backed up from there and can't score. I thought that really kind of changed the momentum and the way things were going. They hit big plays through the air, and we weren't able to finish drives. I thought we were still moving the ball pretty well. We just couldn't finish drives and got a little out of rhythm offensively. But I thought the great thing was, when we needed a drive, we got one, and when we needed a stop, we got one. I think we could have kept it from getting so exciting, but it was big for our guys to, they're from the midpoint of the fourth quarter. We kind of took back over. We had to punt to them, and our defense got a stop. Then when the offense got the ball back, we went on that long drive and scored a touchdown. And then defense came out and got a stop. So. I don't think so much we got comfortable. I just, we missed making a couple plays on both sides of the ball. And, that really kind of, put things in their favor.
What was really incredible to me was the leadership by Brady Allen and the offense to, when it mattered the most, to put away what had happened in the previous 10 or so minutes and kind of buckle down and put together a game-winning drive that eventually led to Chris Spears' game-winning field goal. But, talk about that leadership that Brady Allen and those guys offensively were able to show and putting together a game-winning drive.
Yeah, it was huge. Obviously it ended up winning the game, and but no, it was huge, especially with them going for two. And analytically, they did the right thing there. When you're down 14 and you score, you go for two because you got two shots to make it right. As opposed to in the old days, you would just go for two there at the end to try and get the lead. But so it was a good move by them. But it was big for us, and I was really proud of the way our guys responded. That drive had a nice mix of run and pass, and we're able to get it down there, and Chris, coming on then and hitting a big field goal to give us the lead, ended up being the difference in the game.
How tough of a decision was it to kick that field goal there at the end? I think you had 4th and goal at the 2. Kind of what was going through your mind there in terms of the play call there?
It was tough because I didn't know just the way the game had kind of gone if 3 was going to be enough. And I thought that, initially I was kind of thinking go for it because I thought worst case scenario, we've got them pinned on the 1, and we're going to get the ball back with good field position if we get a stop. And I think if there was 2 or 3 more minutes left in the game, we probably would have gone for it. But I thought with time and score, they were down to 1 timeout, and just time and score, and they're not obviously a tempo team. So time and score, thought you take the points and take the lead, and you'll put it in the hands of your defense, who's been really good. And really, I thought they only had like 1 drive, and that was in the first half. And the second half, it was we got more big played than we did drives. I had faith in our defense to get the stop. And so, like I said, if there were 6 or 7 minutes left, we'd probably go for it there. But where the game was at time-wise and stuff, I just felt like it was all right. You take the lead. You got a chance to take the lead. You take the lead, and hopefully your defense can get a stop, and they were able to do that.
You guys hadn't really played a quarterback yet this year that was run first like Garrett Yoon was. I think about the quarterback from Columbus North as well as the Burnett kid from Mount Vernon, but neither of those teams ran the ball with their quarterback as much as Lawrenceburg did with Yoon. But I really thought after that first drive when they had a couple of first down runs that you guys were able to stop that quarterback run for the most part.
Yeah, and God, he's a darn good football player, and they ran him a lot more than they have in the entire year. We knew they were going to run him. I'm not saying we thought he was a drop back guy, and he showed up and ran the ball a lot, but they did kind of lean on him a lot more than they had throughout the course of the season. And like you said, that the first touchdown drive, we were a little out formationed. They're a big formation team, and they gotten something that we hadn't really seen on tape, and we weren't lining up correctly to it. And that kind of allowed some of those bigger runs. Whenever we got that fixed and started lining up better, I thought we did a pretty good job against the run. Like I said, I thought, the rest of their scoring plays were off big plays in the passing game. And, 88's a great player, and Yoon's really good. And so we knew those guys were going to make some plays throughout the course of the game. But I thought we did a pretty good job against the run, considering how well they had run the ball the entire year. And their offensive line's, really good. Probably the best one we've played to this point. So I was proud of our defensive guys and how they handled the running game.
Coach, late in the game, there was a lot of adversity coming your guys' way, but your guys stayed calm, cool, collected, and eventually end up winning the football game just playing their game of football.
I would have liked us to respond a little bit quicker than what we did. I thought we kind of blinked there for a second. Like I said, when they made it 28-14 and we went down and got stopped, I thought we blinked a little bit in the course of that going on. But I think one of the great things and things to talk to the kids about, like every time I've been to 2 state championships as an assistant, and as you watch other teams go through, like 90% of the time, you've got to win a football game like this. Whether sometimes it can be in the first round of the sectional, sometimes it's in the semi-state, but where you just have to find a way to win the football game. And that's all that matters, right now is we found a way to win, and we get to play, this week. And we'd be having a different conversation, if we didn't. But, I was proud of our kids that they found a way to win. And that's what's really important, and found a way to win against a really good football. I mean, that's a good football team. I was really, really proud of them and how they responded there from about early fourth quarter on.
So obviously the job is not done this season, but where does Saturday's win rank in terms of your favorite wins list?
Well, it's up there right now. It's my favorite because we get to play it this week. No, it was a big one. And we knew coming in. I think, when you started this tournament, if there was 4 to 6 teams that you really thought had a shot to play on Thanksgiving and win, I mean, us and them are going to be in that discussion. It was played in the round of 8, but they're a top 5 team without a doubt. Very, very good. And so anytime you get a win like that in the playoffs, it's always going to rank really high up there.
All right, Coach. Well, we'll take our second break of the night. When we come back, we'll look ahead to this Saturday's opponent, the Tri-West Hendricks Bruins, in the IHSAA semi-state round. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Nick Hart Show on 89.1 The Bash and online at bashradio.com.
The Nick Hart Show made possible by the following gold sponsors of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters: Hip Dentistry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis; JMCO Technologies; Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated; MyTech Systems; Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance; Rhythm Church Evansville; Scotty's Lawn Equipment; Ten Barge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies; TYFL; Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated; Reinbrecht Homes; Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments; Young's Auto Body; and Like Transport.
It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash and bashradio.com. Cole Carter and Kyler Gammon with you. Gibson Southern making their 4th trip in school history to semi-state as they travel up north to Liston to take on Tri-West Hendricks this Saturday, being joined by Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart. So, Nick, from what you've seen so far, what do we know about Tri-West Hendricks and what can we expect from the Bruins on Saturday?
Well, going off what we just said, there's only 4 teams left, so everybody's good at this point, and they fit right in that. I think defensively is they pop a little bit more to me than offensively, and that's not a shot at their offenses. I think they're really good defensively, and if you kind of look at their scores, for the most part, everything's in the big games at least. Where they're playing like competition, everything's in the teens and the 20s. They want to play defense, and they're a spread team, and they throw it around. They're not like a ground and pound, like we want to shorten the game, but ultimately, they want to rely on their defense and keep games. I think if you ask them and gave them, true serum, they'd want the winner to score 17 points on Saturday, and we're going to want the winner to have to score 35. It's just kind of a difference of how games have shaped out for each of us as we go through the season. But they're still very capable on offense, and again, I don't want it to make it sound like I'm talking that their offense isn't good. I'm very impressed with what they've done defensively throughout the year against good football teams. So, it's going to be a challenge for us and finding ways to, get that rhythm offensively. I think, if you've looked at some of the games where maybe we've sputtered a little bit offensively, that rhythm's so important to us. Whether it was Saturday night there in the third quarter, the South Warren game, some of those games where it didn't come super easy. It was getting into that rhythm offensively. So, we got to find that rhythm on Saturday, and they're going to make you earn what you get. So, we've seen great defenses. We've had some success against great defenses. So, we got to step up and play well on Saturday against another great defense. And then, offensively, they are really balanced. They're a shotgun team, and they do a lot of great things out of what they do. So I think schematically, for our fans, they'd probably not personnel-wise, but schematically are going to look a lot like a Mount Vernon. Doubles, trips, tight end trips, a lot of that type of stuff. So, it gets us back. We've kind of played some different offenses here the past few weeks, and kind of gets us back to, somebody that, we're used to playing, and you can kind of, because they kind of mirror us a little bit too. And somebody you've been used to playing kind of throughout the season.
Obviously, none of us have seen this team play this year, but from what I've gathered online with stats and video, they got a pretty good quarterback, a guy that can throw it as well as run it, and they got some good running backs as well. So I don't think that this Tri-West team is going to be like a Lawrenceburg and run the ball 90% of the time. They can throw it as well as they can run.
Yeah. I think, one of the cool things, looking at them, their quarterback's really good, but their receiving core is all about, like, they got, their four guys are all pretty even in yards and how it's distributed. So they have a really big tight end that's, does a great job. I think he's really athletic. That they do a good job with getting him touches in different ways. And they got some guys that can scoot on the outside. So, they definitely do a good job offensively. They'll take what you're giving them. If you're going to play off, they do a good job of playing pitch and catch. And if you want to come up and put a little pressure on them, they love to throw the ball over the top and love to take shots. And so, we got to make sure we do a good job of not giving up those big plays and making them drive the football like they're going to do to us.
From what you've seen so far, what do you think is going to be the deciding factor for both teams in this game on Saturday?
Well, and this is coaching cliches here, but like, you get in these big games and it comes down to so much of, we're in week 14 now. So there's not going to be a lot of secrets, or, they're going to know what we're going to do. We're going to know what they're going to do. It's going to come down to execution and how well you can execute. And, turnovers and big plays and stuff always seem to play a big role, in these games. Like, you go back to Saturday night, what got them back into the game was big plays. And so, if it was flipped and we weren't up 28-7 when that happened, that might have been the difference in the game, was some of the big plays that they were able to make. So I think it comes down to turnovers, big plays, all that execution type of stuff. When you get this deep in the playoffs, it always has a huge deciding factor, and who's going to advance to the next week.
Coach, last question I have. Back on Saturday, we saw Ty Whitledge go down with what seemed to be a shoulder injury. What's the update on him, and what's his status?
I think it's still early in the week here. At this point, we're optimistic that we would be able to get Ty back this week and ready to go. So, that was kind of the report when we left on Saturday night, and nothing's really changed in that report. So, we expect to have them. And obviously, you can have setbacks as you go through a week and everything, and it's still pretty early to tell. But, we're cautiously optimistic that he'll be back and ready to go on Saturday.
All right, Nick. Well, as always, thank you so much for your time, and good luck on Saturday. And we'll chat with you again next Tuesday for hopefully not the last time.
All right. Thanks, guys.
That's Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart as the Titans getting ready to take on Tri-West Hendricks this Saturday in the IHSAA 3A semi-state round, with a chance to go to the state championship at Lucas Oil Stadium next Friday. We'll step aside for our final break tonight. When we come back, we'll get you ready for everything that you need to know for this Saturday semi-state matchup with the Bruins of Tri-West Hendricks. Don't go anywhere. It's the Nick Hart Show here on 89.1 The Bash.
The Nick Hart Show is made possible by the following silver-level sponsors of the Gibson Southern Football Boosters: ADG Architecture and Design Group, Gady Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete.
Fourth and final segment of the Nick Hart Show tonight. It's semi-state week. Cole Carter with you. Gibson Southern taking on Tri-West Hendricks this Saturday up in Liston, Indiana. And for those of you that plan to attend Saturday's game, you need to purchase your ticket online. Just go to the Gibson Southern Titans Facebook page or whatever social media outlet you can for Gibson Southern, and they'll have the link on there of where you can purchase your ticket online. Once again, that's this Saturday. Tickets are $10 each for the semi-state round this weekend. Just 4 teams remain in Indiana 3A. The other 2 teams on the northern side of the bracket are Brebeuf Jesuit Prep and Mishawaka Marian. Those are the number 1 and number 4 teams in the state. Gibson Southern number 2, while Tri-West Hendricks is number 5. So out of the top 5 teams in the state of Indiana in 3A, 4 of them are playing this weekend. That's really how it's meant to be. And the winner of the 2 semi-state games will play next Friday, November 26th at 2:30, 3:30 Eastern Time at Lucas Oil Stadium in Indianapolis for the 3A state championship game. Those times were released earlier this week by the IHSAA. So once again, if the Titans win on Saturday, they'll play at Lucas Oil next Friday at 2:30. And of course, if they make it there, we'll be right there to broadcast it for you if you cannot make it. But let's focus on this Saturday. What can we expect from this Tri-West Hendricks football team? Well, we can expect a very good football team. The Bruins are 11-2 on the season. They are coming off a 28-7 win over Owen Valley last Friday in the regional championship. They beat a very good Danville team back in the sectional championship. But anytime you face a team from the northern part or the middle part of the state, but north to here, you don't really know what to expect. You know they're going to face some tougher competition. Their 2 losses on this season, one of them was to Danville in the regular season by 7, 14-7, and the other loss was to Lebanon by 7 points, 28-21. This season, Lebanon went 7-4. So we heard what Nick Hart said about what we'll see from them schematically. I mentioned they have a good quarterback that does have some pretty good numbers. Ty Owens, he's a 6-foot junior so far this year. He's got 2,133 yards passing to go along with 29 touchdown passes and 2 interceptions. Their leading rusher on the season is Devon Brown. He's a 5'9 junior, and with 150 carries, he's got 912 rushing yards to go along with 12 rushing touchdowns. And as we talked about earlier, it's not a team that's just going to run the football all night long. They can do both. Mention the stats from Owens, their quarterback. Their leading receiver, Jace Moore, he's a 5'10 senior, and so far this year, he's got 35 catches for 601 yards and 8 touchdowns. They have 2 other guys, actually 3 other guys, with 7 receiving touchdowns. So this team can do it all. They can run and they can pass. The Titans have really not seen a team this year, besides, I'd say, South Warren, that can equally run the ball and pass the ball. And even Lawrenceburg, they did have a couple of big pass plays last Saturday, but they were a dominantly running team. But the Titans are going to face the best of both this Saturday from Tri-West Hendricks. That's a 4 o'clock kickoff, 5 o'clock Eastern time, but 4 o'clock here at home. We'll have the pregame show for you at 3:45. A little bit different way of doing things. Last Saturday was weird. Of course, Titans have played all games on Fridays before last weekend, but now another Saturday game for them. And if they win, they're going to have the royalty of playing on a Friday in the state championship on Black Friday. So Once again, a 4 o'clock kickoff Saturday at Tri-West Hendricks in Liston. That's about 2.5 hours away from Fort Branch. So, if you can make it, make the road trip there. Titans could use all the support they can get. And once again, if you are going to go, make sure you get your ticket online beforehand so you can be there in person to cheer on the Titans. Be sure you dress warm. It's going to be a cold weekend once again. Kyler Gammon will join me on the broadcast Saturday afternoon with a 3:45 pregame show for the 4 o'clock kickoff. It's Gibson Southern and Tri-West Hendricks here on your home for Gibson Southern football, 89-1 The Bash. That's going to wrap up tonight's show here on the Nick Hart Show. As always, a big thanks to Gibson Southern head coach Nick Hart for taking some time to chat with us this evening. And a big thanks to all of our Gibson Southern football sponsors and all of our Gibson Southern football listeners who have tuned in every week on Tuesday, on Friday, and even on Saturday. We'll chat with you again this Saturday afternoon at 4 o'clock as Gibson Southern takes on Tri-West Hendricks in the semi-state. I'm Cole Carter signing off. We'll talk to you this weekend. Go Titans!
The Nick Hart Show has been brought to you by the following Gibson Southern football boosters: Brett's Car Care, Baker Tax and Financial Services, Cordray Insurance, Daylight Land Management, Davis Brothers, Du Bois County Garage Doors, Duke Energy, Foster Construction, Fort Branch Dairy Queen, Harper's Pub and Pizza, Hobstadt Summerfest Incorporated, Hydorn Construction, Hobstadt Family Dentistry, Penn Orthodontics, Hillside Gardens, Hip Dentistry, in memory of Darwin and Eric Kalis, JMCO Technologies, Kiesel Enterprises Incorporated, MyTech Systems, Robert Goob Vermillion of Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance, Rhythm Church Evansville, Scotty's Lawn Equipment, Ten Barge Seed and Turfgrass Supplies, TYFL, Vogler Metalwork and Design Incorporated, Reinbrecht Homes, Stodgel Funeral Home and Monuments, Young's Auto Body, Like Transport, ADG Architecture and Design Group, Gady Oil, Johnson Commercial Mowing, in loving memory of Zach Bailey, Julia's School of Dance, Kathy Solman Photography, Make Your Mark, United Fidelity Bank, Vertical Tile, Grandparents of Jackson Adams, Tri-State Fence, Emerson Cattle Company, Iron Horse Bar and Grill, Deborah Borchelt, and Pole Concrete. The Nick Hart Show has been a special presentation of the Gibson Southern Football Booster.